I came across amazing designs like this Navbar. I really like making it a goal to figure out how do they work. Here we have a Navbar with 6 menu working like a tab. It's not only a tab type design, but it has some effects whenever we will try to switch the menu items with a flexible shaking, like shaking. I like to say this way. Over on our code, let's begin by some basic styles to our body. I will use Bootstrap 4 because it has some predefined classes. I don't have to style every single class. Let's first import the font family from the Google APIs, and we have to include the font family in the body tag. I don't want any margin or padding, and later I will show you the use case of this I tag. Jump back to the HTML. So I will use Bootstrap 4. So we'll get some predefined classes. Now we will use nav class with a link, and we will use a button with a control ID and the area to some icons for the toggle menu. Add a div class with the same ID we used in the button. Remember those 6 items? We will use the order list to do that. To use a div class within some customizable classes, you can add your own classes. Now in the list class we will use nav item and a JavaScript with a Java call function. Then add the other menu items and copy and paste it. Our HTML is complete. Let's get back to the CSS, and we will use the Navbar logo option. Here we will use the padding 15 px and the color as white. It's better in white. Now the ID that we used in the Navbar, we will customize it with the overflow hidden, and we will use the relative position, and I want to list them with the 0 padding and 0 margin. Here we will use the ULLI method, and we will color it with the RGBA with text decoration none, and we will use the transition duration 0.67 with a timing function cubic base here, and make it with the relative position. Now for the active element, we will style it with some background color and a transition of 0.7 second. Now we will use the child element with the absolute position and a display with inline block, and we will use the middle vertical alignment with a transition of 0.5 second. You can choose any font weight. I will use the 900. For active child component, we will transform it to 90 degree. Now here we will also use the Bezier transition with the timing function with a top radius of 15 px and the top right radius with the 15 px. I also want the margin top to be 10 px with the position absolute. In left and right we will use the absolute position, width and height, and a background color with the bottom of 10 px. So we will use the v4 for the horizontal selector and the other classes, as well as with some negative right position and the negative left position. Now we will use the toggle button for different media width. For here I will pick the 992 pixel, and we will use the never expand custom button with a flex flow and a justify content to flex start. The number should be flex basis with auto because I want to position automatically. Then we will use the media query for another IDs. Now we will use some JS code. Here we need to add some jQuery and JavaScript. So let's start it with the function with text. We'll use some tab anime, and the type supported content will use the for element with the inner height and the inner width. We need to add some position here. So in the horizontal selector I will use some position with height and width, which will be in the top and in the left. Then we will use some onClick function in the Navbar, and we will remove the class active. Then we will use some inner height and inner width with a position. We'll use some set timeout function for a 500 millisecond. It looks like we are in a right track. Now for the slide toggle we'll use some set timeout function, but still we need some jQuery to do this shakeable feature. To add this shakeable feature we'll use some split function to make it more smoother. Here we go. As you can see, this is working perfectly right now, and the toggle bar is working correctly. Let's start the viewport mode, and it's working correctly. One thing I want to do is to change this Navbar text with some my channel name. It will be better. Let's see. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I will try to ready more videos for you.